The NBA just dropped several major storylines at once, from a serious injury update to a growing controversy about tanking, and even Kevin Durant calling out players ahead of the All-Star game. Let's break it all down. First, some unfortunate news for the Utah Jazz. Two-time All-Star and former Defensive Player of the Year Jaren Jackson Jr. will undergo knee surgery to remove a growth that doctors recently discovered. The issue was found shortly after he was traded from the Memphis Grizzlies to the Jazz. According to reports, Jackson had actually wanted to play a few games for Utah while dealing with the problem. But because of the knee issue, he was placed on a strict minutes restriction. That's why fans noticed something unusual. He wasn't playing in fourth quarters. Now we know the reason. Doctors were concerned that the growth could continue expanding, so surgery became the safest option. The good news is that Jackson is expected to recover well before training camp next season. Still, his absence adds another twist to a bigger conversation happening across the league right now: tanking. More and more teams appear to be prioritizing draft position over winning games, and the NBA is starting to take this issue seriously. League insiders say discussions about tanking began months ago, especially after the gambling scandal earlier in the season raised questions about competitive integrity. Since then, the NBA has been exploring several possible solutions. One idea would limit how many years in a row a team can draft near the top of the lottery. Another proposal suggests preventing teams from picking in the top 4 in consecutive seasons. There's even talk about locking lottery positions after March 1st to stop teams from intentionally losing late in the year. But some of the newest ideas are even more creative. For example, the league has discussed a mini-tournament among the worst teams, where they would actually compete to earn the top draft pick. Another idea would prevent teams from drafting in the top 4 the year after reaching the conference finals. And there's also discussion about calculating lottery odds based on a 2-year performance window instead of just one season. All of this shows just how serious the NBA is about protecting competitive balance. But some analysts believe the league already has rules that could solve the problem. They just need to enforce them. Specifically, the player participation policy that requires healthy stars to actually play. Without strict enforcement, teams will always have an incentive to think long-term and sacrifice short-term success. And speaking of competitiveness, Kevin Durant had something interesting to say about the upcoming All-Star game. Durant pushed back against the idea that veteran players, the so-called old heads, won't compete hard. Instead, he pointed out that some international stars haven't exactly treated the All-Star game like a serious competition either. Durant specifically mentioned Luka Dončić and Nikola Jokic, joking that they often shoot half-court shots and treat the game casually. But if there's one player who takes these moments seriously, it might be Durant himself. Former teammates say KD has always approached All-Star games with a mindset of winning MVP, even picking up full-court defense against players like LeBron James. So while fans often expect a relaxed exhibition, Durant might be ready to turn it into a real battle. And with injuries already affecting the All-Star roster, including Giannis, Steph Curry, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, this year's game could look very different. Between injury news, tanking debates, expansion rumors involving cities like Seattle and Las Vegas, and the All-Star drama, the NBA has a lot going on right now. And the rest of the season could get even more interesting.